Joining me to talk more about this now, former federal prosecutor Mitchell Epner. Mitch, thanks for being here. First, your reaction to this. Many don't appear surprised by it. In fact, some colleges and universities had already started to prepare for it. Your thoughts?
First, thank you for having me on. And no, I'm not surprised by it. And the reason I'm not surprised is, number one, the composition of the current Supreme Court, and number two, 25 years ago in a case called Grutter, where the Supreme Court allowed affirmative action based on race to continue in the context of law school admissions at the University of Michigan. The majority wrote that this decision had a lifespan, and they said 25 years from now, we don't expect there to continue to be affirmative action. And in Chief Justice Roberts' opinion, he highlights that. He says, here we are 20 years later, and there's no end in sight to affirmative action plans at universities, so we're ending them for them.
There's a Pew Research report, Mitchell. 1/3 of Americans approve of the practice of affirmative action. How do people feel about it? Does that depend largely on who you ask and their personal backgrounds?
I think it depends on who you ask, their personal backgrounds, and how you pose the question. If you ask if you believe in affirmative action and doing things like going out and increasing the pool of applicants by letting people who don't know about opportunities know about them, that gets like 85, 90% approval. Where it becomes very contentious is when race or ethnicity is used as a plus factor at the end of the process to decide who gets the job, who doesn't get the job, who gets into the school, who doesn't get into the school.
Right. So if you're looking at an application of a Black student versus an Asian American student, right, it will vary. Colleges and universities are going to now have to adjust, right? They pivot and have to reimagine the admissions process. Are they prepared for that?
So I can speak only to one college in particular, the one that I attended, Dartmouth, where the chief admissions officer has been saying for the last few years that they have a contingency plan in place for what happens if the Supreme Court rules the way they just ruled. I imagine that many colleges, particularly colleges and universities that are well-funded, have done this sort of contingency planning. The question is, when you have colleges and universities that are barely scraping by and have to take on this new burden, how quickly will they be able to do it, and how expensive will it be?
So I have another bit of reaction, this from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. He says most Americans agree that racial discrimination should play no part in the college admissions process now that the court has reaffirmed that common sense position students can get a fair shot at college and the American dream on their merits. We're getting reaction from both sides. While I've got you here, I want to get your reaction to one thing my previous guest said, is that Justice Roberts seemed to keep the door open for universities to keep open experiences and experiences that students have had in their past as part of the process. Is that ambiguous in the next step of this, or is that a pretty clear way to say we could still use this as a factor? Help me read between these lines here.
So the way I read it, and Justice Roberts, in his opinion, engaged with the dissent on this, saying this is not he claims that this is not a backdoor to consider race in general, but that if a particular applicant can write an essay saying, I overcame having a Klan rally in my front yard, and that is the reason why you should admit me, because look at this horrible thing that I have overcome, that a college or a university would be allowed to consider that. And there's one other important footnote. This case specifically says that it is not considering the use of race by the U.S. military academies in their admissions decisions, because there may be very specific national security reasons why we need an officer corps that looks more like America.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay. Mitchell Epner, thank you for your perspective on this as we digest what this decision means and the larger implications nationwide. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me, Marni.